Welcome to another installment of Embarrassing Fanfiction, where I read to you terrible fanfiction that I wrote when I was 12 years old. In today's video, we are going to be reading the second part of Music for the Heart, because when I was reading the first part of this to you guys, I didn't realize how long the story was. So, we are going to read part 2. To remind you of what has happened so far, Miley goes to school. This is all in Hannah Montana world. Miley goes to school, she bumps into Jake Ryan, and they meet. She probably has a crush on him. And then she goes to orchestra class and meets Lily, who's apparently a new student at school. So now Lily and Miley are off to algebra class. When I looked down, I no longer saw my Mac notebook and my pencil. Instead, I saw a grand piano before me. I heard a buzz and looked toward the sound. A blood-red curtain covered me from sight, and I looked straight ahead and saw none other than Jake. His eyes glowed and his smile was a mile wide. I must have looked at him funny because he gave me a thumbs up. I looked back down at the piano to see if I could find the same reflection I usually saw, but I didn't. A beautiful woman with worried eyes stared back at me. Her long hair was perfectly styled, her makeup done by a professional. And then I saw the dress. A beautiful silk dress, black in color. And then I realized this woman was me! Oh no! I heard a whispered command and I saw the curtain before me slide open with ease. A mass of people were sitting in the audience waiting to hear something. And I realized they were there to hear me play. How could I have gone from a teenager to a beautiful woman in just moments? As I slowly lifted my fingers to play the piano, I remembered that a musician had to bow before playing. I slowly stood and felt wobbly. I took a slow bow and looked at the shoes on my feet. 3-inch stilettos. Shoes that would make me kill myself in my regular life. But I only shook a little in the shoes now. I sat and placed my fingers on the keys. I began to play, a wonderful tune pouring from the instrument. I was mesmerized by its beauty and I gave myself to the music. I heard my name called from the distance. Miley! Miss Stewart, I won't tolerate daydreaming in this class. I suddenly gasped and blinked quickly. The piano was gone along with the dress. I rubbed my eyes and saw Mrs. Sorcy glaring at me from the front of the classroom. Everyone looked my way, wanting to get me in trouble. Detention. Today, after school, Mrs. Sorcy announced. I slid farther down in my chair, blushing madly, and settled in for the rest of the class. And then some time has passed, and now she's going to detention. Detention, a boring place to be on a Tuesday afternoon. Never say anywhere else in the story that it's a Tuesday. So, around me were other students who most definitely belonged here, but I didn't. Everyone was talking loudly, and the teacher in charge of detention, Mr. Wang, did nothing to stop the noise. Though he tried once, the attempt failed. I sighed and took out my notebook and pencil. I opened the book slowly like I usually did. I turned to a blank page and pressed my pencil into the page, and I suddenly realized the paper in my notebook looked nothing like this. As I flipped through the countless pages, I didn't recognize the handwriting. Where was my notebook? I thought I had it during the day, but I never opened the book, and the cover looked identical to the cover of my notebook, and I looked at the bottom of one page and saw a single word that made me stop. Jake! This was Jake's notebook! He must have taken mine when we bumped into each other. Why didn't I check the notebook during the day to make sure it was mine? So much drama! I looked through the pages of the notebook to find the most recent entry from this morning. It was boring at first and I lost interest. What the hell? But then, I saw something about a girl in the hall and I read further. It said the girl had brown hair and bright green eyes, and he questioned his thoughts saying, "Is that the girl I think it is? I think that it is." He left his words there, but then I flipped the page and saw the word that made my heart skip. Miley. He described me with such intense detail that I was scared to keep reading. I had to stop myself from reading this. It took every effort to close the book. I put it down and waited for detention to end. As I walked home from detention, I kept thinking about what I had read. What was Jake saying? I pondered this until I entered my house to be faced with anger. My father wasn't usually a hostile person, but he looked like he was about to yell his brains out at me. Miley, I can't believe you. I'm trying to do my best Robbie Stewart, whatever the hell his name is, accent. What are you talking about, Dad? I asked, not sure of the trouble I would get into. I can't believe you got detention. You had a clean slate. But I didn't mean to, Dad. Likely story. Do you want to end up like your brother, struggling to find a college that'll actually accept him? Dad, it's one detention. Don't freak out. What did you say to me? He was seething. I could see his face turning red. I said don't freak out. Don't freak out like you always do. You always make a big deal when I get an A- or when I don't practice the piano. Just get out of my life and stay out, I said, turning and running up the stairs to my bedroom. My God, there's so much drama in this story. The next morning, I banged around as I got ready for school. When I got to school, I slammed my locker open and felt a whoosh of air near me. What's with the hostility? Did your locker make you angry? I heard Lily said from behind me. Very funny. And no, I just have a lot on my mind, I answered, turning towards her. She looked at me aghast. What? Is there something on my face? Tell me, I questioned. No, it's just the way you looked at me. What's up? She asked. I got into a fight with my mom. I definitely changed the character halfway through because her mom in the show is dead. So I did not fix it when I published this. Oh, that's not good. Was it bad? Yeah, kinda. I got really mad and yelled at her. I have an idea of how to cheer you up, Lily said with a sparkle in her eye. What is it? I asked. How about you come over to my house? I know just what to do after school today. Sure. We closed our lockers and headed to our respective first period classes. Lily and I entered her house at 3 o'clock. Her mother was waiting there with a smile on her face. Hi, you must be Miley, her mother said happily. It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Truscott, I replied. Come on, Miley, let's go up to my room, Lily interrupted, pulling my hand. We hurried up the stairs and walked into her room. There were pictures of the Beatles everywhere, along with pictures of Fall Out Boy and Linkin Park. Do you want an ice pop? Great change of subject, Lily. Sure. Hold on, let me go grab it. Lily returned seconds later with 2 ice pops. Mine was cherry, my favorite. Great. She fell down into a beanbag chair and looked at me. So let's start the cheering up. How? I asked, falling backwards onto her bed. What do you think of makeovers? I'm really not that kind of girl, but sure, why not? Lily stood up, threw out her popsicle stick, and grabbed a few bottles of nail polish. They were colors of dark shades. Dark purple, dark blue. Annie in every color was there. I reached for the dark blue, but Lily pulled another bottle out of her pocket. I did not proofread this story when I published it. I like that color, but this adds a certain flair, Lily said, showing a small bottle of sparkles. You sure it doesn't look too, I don't know, flashy, I asked? You'll look fine, I promise. She grabbed my hand and started polishing the nails. I sat and tried to relax, forget about what had happened yesterday. And that's the end of Music from the Heart, or For the Heart. I don't remember the name of the story. So in the description of this, I had mentioned Jake Ryan, Lily Truscott, and Oliver Oaken. Apparently, I just never got to the part where Oliver Oaken comes in, so it's just Miley and Lily creating their friendship. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of that. You can follow me in the description at tss6295 on Twitter and Instagram, and you can like this video down below and subscribe while you're down there as well. DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!